Hello and welcome back to Flying Bobbins. In this month's video I'm going to be showing you how to make the honey backpack. So here's one I made earlier in the bee fabric. I'm now going to make one in a stripy cloth and I'll talk you through each and every step from cutting out through to finishing off your bag. I've already got my pattern cut out here from having previously made my bag. I've got all my supplies together and that's what you get with the Flying Bobbins kit. And I'll be following the instructions as they appear in the instruction booklet that you get with your pattern or with your kit. The first thing that we need to do is cut out the base panel. So I've got this lovely Santiago leatherette here in navy blue for the base of my bag. And there's just one piece that we need to cut out of this, which is piece number C, and that's the base panel that sits at the bottom of your bag. So if we have a look at the bag I've made, that's this panel here. And that will just fold up and around like this to make the base of your bag. And you see you've got quite a bit left over here, so that'll be really nice to keep those scraps, partly for testing your stitches, but also I reckon that you've got enough there to trim a nice matching purse. So I'm going to keep all of my offcuts and see what I can make with them later. I'm going to cut out my bag using a rotary cutter. I just need to line up this line here with the straight edge there, or you can measure from selvage to the grain line to get your grain nice and straight. So I'm weighing my pattern down and then I'm going to use my rotary cutter to cut out my panel. You can use scissors if you wish, but the one thing that I would not do with the Santiago leatherette is use pins. I would definitely use weights. You don't really want to mark this cloth. You could use other fabric for the base of your bag. You could use a canvas, a denim, anything like that really, a tapestry style, upholstery fabric, something that's going to be a bit hard wearing. But I'm using the Santiago leatherette, which I absolutely love sewing with. It's actually got a woven reverse side and this lovely aniline leather texture on it, and it's really buttery soft and beautiful to sew with. So I'm just going to cut out the base here. Okay, so that's cut out. Now if you want to, you can mark each pattern piece on the reverse, because you do have a lot of pattern pieces and that will make it simpler for you as you go along. You want to mark the centre front and centre back of the pattern as well, and you want to do that with each and every piece. This will help you to line up everything as you go ahead and make your bag, and then also any notch marks. My pattern isn't as refined. This is a prototype pattern I'm using. Yours will have all the notches on there ready for you to transfer. There we go. So I've got a notch at the top and the bottom and these notches here that will help me line things up. So that's piece C, which is the base of my bag. So next up I'm going to cut out the main bag fabric, and I'm making the stripe version. Actually this is a bit unusual in that the stripe runs alongside the selvage, so I've just flipped over the piece of fabric and I'm going to cut all of my pieces this way so that the stripe goes horizontally. So my layout plan for this is slightly different, but there's plenty of fabric. So I think I'm just going to line up the bottom of my bag with the bottom of a stripe there to make sure I've got it nice and straight. And this main piece, front panel A, just about fits on across the width there. So once that's cut out, I'll just mark the centre front and centre back notches as well. And this is A. You've also got some notches on the side there. I'm marking these with chalk rather than snipping into it to avoid any fraying. And then I'll just move down and now cut out pattern piece B, which is the main back panel. Once again, I'll line that straight line up at the base with one of the stripes. And just at these corner areas, you might want to just nip in with a pair of scissors to avoid the risk of cutting into the angle there by accident. So just a note about cutting out, obviously I'm doing the stripe, so I'm going horizontal with all my pieces. If I had an all over print or a plain fabric, I could just cut them out looking at the straight grain and making sure all my pieces are straight and aligned to the grain. With this bee fabric, when I was making this one, I just made sure that with each and every piece that I cut out, that the centre front of the pattern was on the middle of a bee. And that way you can see that the bees, the rows of bees line up. I mean, you can't really pattern match because this flap moves about anyway. But what I do like is that you can see these lines of bees all line up. If I hadn't have done that, then I may have had a situation where that was sort of offset a little bit. I mean, it probably wouldn't show up too much, but if you just make sure when you're cutting out, if you have a linear print like this, if you just make sure that each and every panel, you can see that back panel I've cut with a line of bees exactly in the middle, and that way it just lines up nicely. Having said all of that, when it comes to my back pocket here that's going to sit at the back of my bag, I'm actually going to have a little play around. So I've cut the back panel in horizontally, and then you have a choice. You can either cut your pocket in the same way, so it's all horizontal, but I think I might flip this round. So I will have the vertical stripes just because I think it will look nice. So just using this piece as an example, let's use a bit of scrap. So for example, you can cut your back pocket also on the horizontal stripe if you're doing a stripe, so that it will look like this. And you could just make sure that the bottom is in the same place so it matches up. So I've cut on the bottom of a white stripe there. So just do that so that it kind of matches up. Although because these stripes are quite narrow, it might be quite tricky to get it perfectly matching up. But I was just thinking actually it might look quite nice to flip that piece over. So just for that pocket at the centre back, you've got a contrast and you've got the vertical stripe there. And then you don't have the headache of trying to make the stripes match, which could get a bit dazzly. So the pocket will sort of fold back on itself like this and then sit at the centre back, and I think that could look quite nice actually. So yeah, I'm going to do that. You can always play around with these things to get different effects. I mean, you could do the whole bag with horizontal or vertical stripes. So this one I'm going to cut this way. I'll just come up to the edge of the fabric there. In fact, that's a lovely straight edge. I'm just going to use it. So I only have a safe fabric and I don't have as much cutting out to do. Here we go. Just 2 more pieces to cut out. Just use my ruler to cut it out. I can just follow that stripe. It's really important to mark on the centre front notches, not only for lining up, but also so you don't get confused about which way round it goes, because those are at the top and bottom, and if you're using an all over print it can get a bit confusing as to which way up it goes. We're going to have a nice little bit of fabric left over as well, I can see. Oh look, that will fit in there, perfect. Makes cutting out quite fun. So next up we're going to cut the lining, and we've got our piece G and H, which is the back and the front lining. And these pieces are going to be cut out of lining and fusible fleece. So you basically fuse the lining with a fleece to give it a bit of body. Now, these are quite interesting shapes with all these angles. So what you could do is cut them separately from the lining fabric and then the fleece, and then match it together and fuse it. But I actually find that it's quicker and more precise if we first of all block fuse. So we fuse our lining fabric with our fleece and then we cut it out in one go. and I think that that works out really well. So first of all, I shall cut a piece of fabric big enough to accommodate both of those pattern pieces and cover the fusible fleece there. Flip that over so I can see. So I just cut a piece of fabric big enough to cover my fleece. Then I'll fuse my cloth with my fleece, and then I'll cut out my pattern pieces. So to fuse your fusible fleece to your fabric, you just put the gluey side together with the wrong side of the fabric, and then you hold your iron in place for 15 seconds on each area. So it does take a little while to fuse because it's quite a big panel here, but it does give you a nice result. And of course, if you're using your own materials and you're using a non-fusible bag batting, you just would need to cut both pieces out together and then stitch them together. But I find that having the fusible just makes it a little bit easier. I'll just bring that down and do it panel by panel. Just make sure that there's nothing caught up in between your fabric and your fleece. If you're hearing unusual noises in the background, I'm actually doing this in my new cabin, and there's been foxes scampering around and aeroplanes going overhead and rain on the roof. So it's all happening. So with that fused together, we can now cut out our main lining panels in one go with their fusible fleece, and you can see that they fit like this. If you turn one of them upside down, they kind of tessellate together. So once again, just measure from the selvage to your straight grain line to make sure that your panel is straight, and then we can cut out in one go. And you can use scissors or a rotary cutter, it's up to you. So there's my two lining pieces cut out and fused together with their fleece, all in one go. So you now need to go ahead and cut out the remaining lining pieces from your leftover lining. So we need two interior pockets, J. We need one front flap, one patch pocket and one back pocket lining. Because I'm cutting out two of J, whoops, I have just folded that in half. So I'll start with that one. And I can open up the remaining fabric there. To be the most economical, I think if I put them on the strip up there, I've got a nice big piece here that I've saved for something else later. But you should have plenty of fabric for all your pieces either way. So we just need one of these. So that's everything cut out. Let's run through. So I've got my big pile of scrappy fit bits there, which I can use for testing stitches, but also maybe making a matching purse later. And then the pieces I've got here are A, the front panel, and that is cut out in my main fabric. I've got B, my back panel, also cut out in my main fabric. I've got C, my base panel, cut out in my base fabric, and I'm using the leatherette. My back pocket panel, D, cut out in my main fabric. Back pocket lining, which is E, cut out in the lining fabric. Front flap F, which is cut out both in the lining and the main fabric. My fusible lining, G, front lining, which is cut out in the fusible fleece and the cotton. And then H, which is the same, lining and cotton with fusible fleece. That's panel H, which is the back lining. Panel I, which is the patch pocket for the inside of the bag, and that's cut out, one in bag fabric and one in lining. And then interior pocket J, 2 cut out in lining fabric. So that's everything cut out. Time to thread up your machine, get your ironing board set up, and we can start sewing our bag.